Chapter 1. The marriage that wasn't a choice. The sound of clinking glasses, laughter, and violins filled the ballroom. But Ava Hayes felt like she was choking. Her fingers twisted the hem of her silk dress, nails digging into the fabric as the reality settled in. This wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare. She was standing next to him. Ethan Carter. Every girl in town called him the devil dressed in Armani. And he really was. Arrogant, ruthless, and cold as hell. His grey eyes cut sharper than broken glass. And the smirk he carried like he owned. Every damn thing in sight made her want to slap him straight across the face. But instead, here she was, his wife. Her father had signed the papers. Their businesses merged. Ava's freedom got sold in the process. And Ethan, of course, looked like he'd won some game. "Smile, sweetheart," Ethan whispered close to her ear, his voice low and laced with mockery. "You don't want the cameras to catch how much you hate me already, do you?" Ava's jaw clenched. "Go to hell." He smirked wider, leaning back just enough to look at her. "Darling, I think hell came to us the second you said I do." Her blood boiled. God, if only she could rip off these heels and storm out. But she couldn't. Her family's company was at stake. Her father's health on the line. She had no choice. When the photographer called them closer, Ethan snaked an arm around her waist. His grip was firm, almost possessive, and the way he pulled her in made her body stiffen. He bent his head, lips brushing dangerously close to her ear again. "Relax, wifey," he murmured. "You'll make people think I forced you into this." Her heart thudded at the word. Forced. Because that's exactly what it was. Ava plastered on the fakest smile she could manage. The camera flashed. Ethan's hand lingered on her lower back, and she could feel the power play in his touch. Everyone saw a picture-perfect couple. No one saw the storm brewing inside her. Later that night, when the guests had left and the mansion grew quiet, Ava finally let herself breathe. She kicked off. Her heels in their massive bedroom, the one they were supposed to share, and glared at Ethan, who was loosening his tie like he didn't have a care in the damn world. "This isn't a marriage," she snapped. Ethan tilted his head, eyes darkening as he studied her. "No? Then what do you call it, princess? A transaction? A prison?" Her voice cracked, but she held her chin high. He chuckled, low and dangerous, stepping closer. "Call it whatever the hell you want. You're still mine now." Ava's breath hitched. His nearness was suffocating, intoxicating even. She hated that her pulse raced when he towered over her, hated that his cologne was already in her lungs. She swallowed hard. "I will never be yours." For a moment, Ethan's smirk faltered, replaced by something sharper, something possessive. He leaned down until his lips brushed against her hair, his voice rough. "Careful, Ava. You'll find that in this house. Never doesn't exist." Her heart pounded like it wanted to break free. And for the first time, Ava realized this marriage wasn't just forced. It was dangerous. Chapter 2. The night that changed everything. The bedroom door slammed shut behind them, the sound echoing like a verdict. Ava froze, her chest rising and falling too fast. She'd spent the whole night convincing herself she'd lock him out, that she'd draw a line so thick he couldn't cross it. But Ethan Carter never cared about lines. He loosened his tie, tossing it onto the chair, his grey eyes never leaving her. The silence was thick, charged. He looked like a predator who already knew his prey wasn't running anywhere. Ava forced herself to speak, even though her throat was dry. "You're not touching me tonight." His lips curved into that dangerous smirk again. "Sweetheart, you don't get to tell me what I can or can't do." "Not anymore." She backed up a step, then another, until her back hit the edge of the giant bed. Her pulse hammered in her ears. "This marriage doesn't mean anything." You can't just. Can't? Ethan cut her off, closing the distance between them in 2 strides. He grabbed her chin, tilting her face up until she was forced to meet his eyes. His touch wasn't gentle. It was rough, claiming, "Watch me." Ava's breath came out shaky, but anger still burned inside her. "You don't own me, Ethan." His jaw tightened, his voice dropping lower. "Don't I?" And before she could protest again, his mouth crashed onto hers. The kiss wasn't sweet, it was raw, fierce, demanding. She pushed against his chest, but his grip only tightened, pulling her closer until her body was flush against his. Her hands balled into fists against him, but the heat that shot through her veins betrayed her. She hated that her lips parted under his, hated the moan that slipped out when his tongue slid against hers. "God, you taste like fire," Ethan muttered against her mouth, his voice rough. "I knew you'd fight me. But damn, Ava, you want this as much as I do." "I don't," she whispered, breathless, but the lie trembled on her lips. Ethan's hands slid down, gripping her hips, lifting her onto the bed with a roughness that made her gasp. He hovered over her, his weight pressing her down, his eyes burning with hunger and something darker. "You can lie to yourself all night," he said, brushing his mouth along her jaw, down to her throat. "But your body won't lie to me." Ava arched when his lips found her neck, biting down just enough to leave a mark. Her fingers betrayed her, clutching his shirt, pulling him closer when she should have shoved him away. "Ethan." Her voice cracked between defiance and surrender. He pulled back just enough to look into her eyes. His gaze was wild, obsessive. "Say my name like that again and I swear, you'll never forget what it feels like to be mine." A war raged inside her: hate, anger, fear, and a desire that scared her more than anything. She should have resisted. She wanted to. But as his mouth claimed hers again, harder, deeper, her body betrayed her completely. For the first time, Ava realized this wasn't just a battle she could win. This was the beginning of her undoing. Chapter 3: Running from the Devil. The mansion was silent. Too silent. Ava's heart thundered as she shoved a small bag into the closet, stuffing it with whatever she could grab. Her hands were trembling, but her mind was made up she couldn't stay here another night with him. Not after the way he kissed her. Not after the way her body betrayed her, melting into his like it belonged there. She hated him for it. Hated herself even more. The clock on the wall ticked past midnight. Perfect. The guards at the front gate always rotated shifts then. She'd seen it earlier. If she was fast enough, she could slip out through the side door and disappear before Ethan even noticed she was gone. She pushed the zipper closed, slung the bag over her shoulder, and tiptoed toward the door. But the second her hand touched the knob, a voice sliced through the darkness. "Going somewhere, wifey?" Ava froze. Her blood went ice cold. Slowly she turned. Ethan leaned casually against the wall near the window, his arms crossed, his shirt half unbuttoned, his grey eyes glowing like steel in the shadows. He looked infuriatingly calm, but his jaw ticked a silent warning that she was in deep trouble. Her throat tightened. "Move." He arched a brow, pushing off the wall. "Move? You really think you get to walk out on me? On us?" "There is no us," Ava snapped, gripping the bag tighter. "You don't own me, Ethan. This marriage doesn't give you that right." He chuckled darkly, stepping closer with slow, deliberate strides that made her chest pound. "Doesn't it? Because last time I checked, you signed the papers. You stood in that church. You said the words. You're mine, Ava. Legally, physically, in every damn way that matters." "God, you're insane," she hissed, trying to sidestep him. But he caught her wrist, yanking her back hard enough that the bag slipped from her shoulder and thudded to the floor. Ethan's voice was low, rough. Yeah, maybe I am. But you still married me. You still belong to me. Ava's chest heaved as she tried to twist free. Let me go. He slammed her back gently against the wall. Not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough that escape was impossible. His body pressed into hers, his hand gripping her wrist above her head, pinning her in place. Say it again, he demanded, his lips inches from hers. Tell me you don't feel anything when I touch you. Tell me you hate me. Lie to my face, Ava. Her lips parted, words caught in her throat. She wanted to scream at him, to push him away. But his heat seeped into her. His breath fanned across her mouth, and her body betrayed her all over again, her pulse racing, her knees going weak.
Hey guys, if you really enjoy watching my videos and want me to post such type of content daily, then please like, subscribe, and share the channel. I love you so much. Please show love.